So Morton0245 here, and today we're taking a look at the big chap. So stay tuned. Now this is I think the latest release from for the Neca big chap. Because there's been many big chaps, but unfortunately I don't have any of them other big chaps. I do have the red one, which I will use a couple of times to compare a couple of different things that they've changed on this new version. And I do have some other Xenomorphs too, which I'm not going to show every single one of them because some of them were hard for me to get down. I haven't taken my whole shelf down, so yeah, I'll show them later on. But I did show this figure off a couple months ago. I think when I done a GI Joe review. I forgot which one exactly, but I used it as a comparison. I think it's one of those classified ones. If you want to go look at those, but so let's get into the accessories. Okay, we're gonna start with the accessories because unfortunately I do have the packaging, but I have unfortunately misplaced it somewhere, so I don't know exactly where it's at. It may be downstairs in the storage. I have to go down there and look and dig some things out, but because I gotta dig some more stuff out for some more reviews I'm gonna do here soon, so I'll probably find it then. But get into the accessories. First thing we're gonna start out with is this simple chest burster here, as you can see. And now this is different chest burster than the one that came with the creature pack, because this one is solid. I think it has no bendy wire. It has one a little bit, I think, there, but you see it sticks out pretty much straight, unlike the one that came with the creature pack here. As you can see, the one that came with the creature pack, it doesn't really sit straight, as you can see. I really can't get it in a straight angle like this other one. As you can see, it's still kind of curvy, and the sculpts are different too. As you can see, it's a different chest burster, which I actually prefer this one a little bit better than this other one here. This other one was based off Aliens, I think, and this one's based off the first movie. But still pretty cool accessory. One thing I need to add here is the new one being a straight tail does create a balance issue. As you can see, it don't want to stay standing. As you can see, the other one there stands no problem because you can curve the tail around. This one's kind of hard. I'm afraid to try to curve it around like that. I'm afraid I might snap the tail off. So, and you see that creates a balance problem. So the second accessory here is the face hugger, a very classic looking face hugger, as you can see. Now this is a different face hugger than the one that came with the creature pack. So then again, here's the creature pack one. As you can see, it's a different sculpt, especially when you flip it around to the inside. As you can see, it's completely different on the underside. This is kind of based off the scene where it falls off the ceiling on Ripley, and then they kind of do like a autopsy of this on the table, and that's kind of how it looks. And so this one's more based off of later films and stuff. And as you can see now, which one of these I like better? They're both. I like them both really. They get the point across. Now, the creature pack you actually get multiple of these, and this we just get this one. But still pretty cool. And they do mix pretty well. This one actually is displayed in the egg, which I'll get into here in just a second. But as you can see, and again, the bendy wire is actually sticking out here on this one. But you see, it will bend. Like this other one, the wire sticking down this other one too, more so than this one, as you can see, which you can cut yourself on that, so you could be careful. And you see it's a different color and everything. Just like I said, I like both of these. I don't really have the personal preferences on each one. Now the final accessory is this really cool egg. As you can see, this is based on the original egg from the first movie. Like I said, the eggs have kind of went undergo some changes, in each film. But this is the original from 1979, and now I do have two other eggs here. I have from the egg carton. This is a glow in the dark version, by the way. As you can see, the eggs look very different. Actually, I think those in the egg carton are based off the Aliens, I think. But like I said, there was two different versions of those. There was normal ones and the glow in the dark ones. These are the glow in the dark ones. And I forgot to mention that these glow-in-the-dark ones do have face huggers, as you can see. So I'll give you a comparison here of all three of them. And these, I think, glow in the dark. So you can hear that wire scraping across my view station there. It's hanging out of that one face hugger. But as you can see, so we move these eggs out the way so we can take a look at this one. Now this does detach from the base here. As you can see, it's just a hollow egg. some detail what would be the inside of the egg there, kind of a organic, fleshy kind of tone there, and there's the egg where it had opened, as you can see. The base is got the same color on the outside and got the pink stuff on the inside. So when you put this on, you got to line it up too, by the way. So if I can get it to line up properly, just not wanting to, can't get it to. There we go. So as you can see, it blends in right there. And the base has got the tentacles and the stuff coming off the bottom. As you can see, this would be on the floor, be covering the existing floor, where the hive would be. And one thing you can take and do with this egg is pretty cool. You can take and put the face hugger in the egg like it's coming out of a cane, which I do have the Neca cane figure, which I do review on it. And I'll show you how that looks and everything. So for articulation, this thing has pretty good articulation. You can rotate the head somewhat, as you can see. It's kind of hindered by the tubes and this back piece, which this can be unpegged, so you can get more articulation out of the head. But I haven't tried to unpeg it because that one's kind of stuck in there. I don't want to break it off. But as you can see, now the arm articulation is actually a little bit different than the other releases, because this one just has no articulation up here. So if I bring the red one in here, as you can see, it's got like a swivel right there, as you can see, where this new one does not. So why they changed that, I have no idea. But so you kind of lose a little bit of articulation here with this release. But that does kind of help not break the sculpt up though. But as you can see, you got a pretty good range of motion at the waist there. Got a double hinge at the arm there, or the elbow. I mean, got a hinge at the wrist, which is a little bit stiff. Some people have actually broke there, so I'm not gonna try to hinge it out too much. You see, it's got some thigh articulation, a double joint at the knee, a hinge at the ankle, and a hinge at the toe, as you can see. And also ankle pivot, I forgot to mention there. So let's take a look at the sculpt, design, and color of the big chap, starting with his head here. And as you can see, I forgot to mention the jaw does articulate, and the tongue does come out, as you can see, like in the movies. That's pretty cool. Now this one, for some reason, the jaw doesn't want to close all the way. On other ones it does close, and this one, as you can see, when I put the tongue back in there, just maybe that may be the part of the reason. But as you can see, it don't want to close all the way, and which that kind of sucks. But as you can see, it's got the very xenomorph, like elongated head, which is really cool, and which they did in a Predator skull pack. They released the xenomorph skull, which I do have, but unfortunately I don't have it right here handy with me to show you. But as you can see, it's got the tubes coming off the head there, which does kind of hinder articulation a little bit. And as you see, like most xenomorphs, he's got the very biomechanical look, which is H.R. Giger, his artwork was very biomechanical. It was a big thing he did. But for the xenomorph, that does look pretty cool. And as you can see, my tubes on the back here are a little bit warped, as you can see. I don't know exactly why that is, but thankfully, from the front, you're not going to notice that, though. But as you can see, all the tubes and stuff, which looks pretty cool. They have yet to explain why they have a biomechanical look in the movies, because in Alien Covenant, the xenomorph, or dubbed the pronomorph, and like most fans call it, was more organic than the xenomorph, which unfortunately I don't have that figure to show you here. But as you can see, it's got the tail, which is a very xenomorph trademark, with the blade on the end there, which the tail does articulate. I forgot to mention that too. It's got like a mini wire, like the face hugger and the chest burster, that kind of stuff. As you can see, the fingernails, the hands, have two opposable thumbs, which is very unhuman-like. Humans only have one thumb, and xenomorphs have two. And you can see the fingernails are kind of like a chrome color, which is pretty cool. And see, the legs have more biomechanical material, and it's kind of got a very slimy kind of paint wash going over, which is pretty cool because in the movie, the xenomorph is very slimy looking, so that kind of makes it look like it did in the movie. As you can see, the feet are very biomechanical, and the nails once again have silver chrome paint, which is accurate to the movie, which is pretty cool. Okay, so it's comparison time, and as you can see here, it's this new big chap compared to the red big chap that came. It was a 2-pack with the red dog alien 2, which I do have, and I didn't get it down because like I said, I didn't want to take my whole shelf down to get some of that stuff. So But as you can see, which the only difference between the red one and the black one there is the shoulder joints. The red one has the swivel at the shoulder, and the black one doesn't. Like I said, why they changed the shoulder joints right there, I have no clue. I think maybe one thing is because they had a lot of problems with them separating right there and coming apart. So maybe that's why they decided to get rid of the articulation cut right there to fix some problems they had with the other ones. But yeah, I've never had any issues with that, thankfully. So all the other ones I have pretty good shoulder joints. So here he is compared to the vintage Kenner version, as you can see, which is the closest thing we ever got to the original Alien in that line. And as you can see, this is basically just an updated version of that figure, which I think they released the Big Chap when they done a homage to that vintage 2-pack. Unfortunately, I don't have because it's very expensive. But so there's the vintage one compared to the new one, basically. Okay, so technically, not a direct comparison because technically the Deacon's not a xenomorph, but I decided to do a comparison because it does have very similar anatomy to a xenomorph, although it does lack a tail. But as you can see, the Deacon and the xenomorph do have a very similar design, but like I said, they're not exactly the same. As you can see, the Deacon does lack a tail, and the Deacon's head structure is a little bit different than the xenomorph. As you can see, this one comes from more of a point, and this one's rounded at the back. And the Deacon is more organic, and the xenomorph is obviously biomechanical. And technically, the Deacon here is actually in its newborn form, no pun intended. But as you can see, compared to the xenomorph's newborn form, very different. As you can see, the Deacon's pretty much fully developed almost when it's in an infant stage, as the xenomorph isn't. But no, the Deacon, that figure is actually very expensive now. Luckily, I actually bought it at Toys R Us years ago, like 20 to 30 bucks, I think, when it was new, along with David. And which I'm glad I bought it then because like I said, now they're very expensive. So I lucked out there. So what do I think of this figure overall? I really like this figure, and I'm glad I finally got a standard black Big Chap because I did have the red one for a while, and as you can see, I've kind of recreated that part where Dallas is in the air ducts of the ship, and then the Xenomorph like jumps out at him like that, and then Dallas gets cocooned according to the director's cut. But as you can see, um, this figure's pretty fun to pose around, and I really enjoy. I really like the Alien movies. That's one of my favorite franchises ever. I own every single one of them that's been released so far, and they're making a new one's coming out this year. Alien Romulus, so I'm pretty excited for that. So Neca will probably do some figures for that too, because they've done pretty much all of the Alien films so far. Just because they've done the one from Alien Resurrection, which the Alien War from Alien Resurrection was pretty simple to do because it was basically the same thing as AVP. Because in Alien Resurrection, they reused the same alien suits from, or in AVP, I mean, they reused the same alien suits from Alien Resurrection, so that's why they look identical. If anybody was wondering that, but um, so yeah, the Big Chap is probably my favorite alien. Of all the other ones, that I like the ones in Aliens too. Them look pretty cool. Now, I wasn't as big of a fan of the dog alien or the bull alien, depending on which cut of the film you watched. But still, like I said, the Big Chap will always be my favorite of all the Xenomorphs. And so if you like this video, want to see more Xenomorph reviews, give me a thumbs up and help me out a lot.